This is Down the Rabbit Hole, where we question the mysteries and nature of reality. I'm your host, Justin Perry. I swear I saw my dead father. In 2006, my father passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. A few months after he died, I decided to move to a different state for a fresh start. One day, I was sitting on a train when a man got on. He was the spitting image of my father. My dad had a very distinct look. He had thick square glasses, a big bald spot on the top of his head, long gray and black hair, and at the bottom, he would wear a ponytail and several big distinct moles on his face. I just stared at him in disbelief, and he never looked my way. I was trying to reason it out in my head, but nothing made sense. Like, maybe he's just a doppelganger, or maybe I was having a brief induced hallucination. But then a short time later, I watched him as he pushed the stop button. The tram stopped, and he was the only person who got off and on the tram. To this day, I still have no idea what I just saw, but I know that was my father. She must have a clone. Okay, guys. This happened a few hours ago, and I'm still freaking out. Like, I'm trembling. I made plans today to go shopping somewhere in another city with my girlfriend. I was in my hometown waiting at a bus stop so we can get to the city by bus. After about 25 to 30 minutes of waiting, this girl who looks exactly like my best friend comes here waiting at the same bus stop. Now, I thought it was weird that she would travel 1 hour away from her college to come to my hometown without telling me. So obviously, I thought it was her. So I went up to her to catch up. I shouted her name eagerly and went in for a hug. This girl looked absolutely horrified. Like, she was not her, apparently. Even though she had the same hair color, skin complexion, height, clothing style, body type, even the same exact voice. I got really scared, so I told her I must have been mistaken and quickly scurried away to ease the embarrassment. I texted my best friend asking if she has any relatives that look exactly like her, or perhaps a identical twin sister who was separated at birth. Something. She says no. She only has a brother that slightly resembles her, but no twin. I'm not sure what happened that day. My girlfriend can't explain it either. The thing is, I felt extremely uncomfortable around her, as if it was her, but it wasn't. The frozen people. This happened a few years ago. I had entered a retail store, minding my own business. I slowly walked towards the rear part of the main area. As I was walking at regular speed, not a fast speed, mind you, I scanned the area and I saw everyone just frozen. After 4 seconds of this, everyone in unison started moving at regular speed. This has been something I can't explain and I'll never forget. The disappearing pockets. This story takes place around 2014. I was 16 at the time, and my mom decided to surprise me with a new robe from Target. When she arrived home, she gifted me the new robe, and I was immediately in love with it, specifically because it had very deep front pockets that I could rest my phone in. I put on the robe and then laid down on the couch. I put my phone in my pocket and fell asleep listening to music. Fast forward 2 or 3 days. I go to the closet and search for my new robe, and I go to stick my phone in the pocket, and I realize the pockets are gone. I immediately yell out, "Ma!" And she comes over to look. Didn't I have pockets in this robe? We both stare in disbelief. She goes, "The pockets were the only reason why I bought the robe in the first place. How was this possible?" I am now 23 years old, and this still baffles my mind. I ran into a car, but I didn't. About 10 years ago, I was with my wife, then girlfriend, and we were driving to work running really late. So being young and dumb, I was speeding. Going over a 6-lane bridge, there's a white car in front of me who slowed way down and kind of brake checked me. I reacted as quick as I could, but I ran right into him. Well, I should have ran into them. The front of my car turned into static or something, and my bumper disappeared into their rear end, and they took off. I looked at my wife like, "Did you see that? I just hit them," but she just looked at me, nodded, and freaked out, and I was freaked out too. I checked the car and there was absolutely no damage. I still can't explain it. The car accident glitch. In November, I was in a horrible car accident. My best friend lives about a mile from me. We were leaving my house and headed to hers. She left about 2 minutes before me. Her 12-year-old daughter was with her. About a minute after I left, she called me to tell me she was stopping at the gas station and that I needed to get over to the right lane because there was a bad accident blocking the left lane. She also says it's weird because one of the vehicles looks exactly like yours. We hung up right before I went through the intersection about a half a mile from the gas station where the accident was. I set the phone next to me, and the next thing I know, I can only describe as my soul or life force being sucked back into my body. My left leg is now pinned under the dashboard, and the windshield is on top of me. I somehow teleported 6 blocks to the accident that happened before I was even on the street. My best friend and her daughter says there's no way this could happen because they passed the accident while on the phone with me. The people who stopped to help all said they didn't know what happened and they didn't see anything. The street was full of cars and it was rush hour. When I tell this story to people, they look at me like I'm crazy. But my best friend and her daughter witnessed this account. I don't know what happened. All I know is my friend and her daughter saw me in an accident even before I got on the street. And you just went down the rabbit hole.